Cameron was a sound engineer. He'd worked in music studios his entire adult life, editing tracks, mastering audio, adjusting EQs until dawn. But when he took a short freelance job from a private client, things began to change. The man, no name, no address, had delivered a single item, a dusty reel-to-reel tape marked only with a red X. "This must be restored," the note said. "Do not edit, do not isolate sounds, do not listen to it in full." Naturally, Cameron was intrigued. That kind of warning was practically begging him to listen. He waited until midnight. Something about the tape felt wrong, heavy, like it carried weight. The air in the studio thickened when he loaded it into the machine. And then he pressed play. The tape started with static. No music, no voice. Just the low hiss of analog noise. Then, breathing. Faint, like someone was sitting right next to the mic. A woman whispered, "Can you hear me?" Cameron paused the tape. He rewound, played again, same whisper, same tone. But now it said, "You shouldn't have come here." He leaned in, increasing the volume. Beneath the whisper, a second voice, deeper, guttural, almost inaudible. He isolated the track, trying to clean it up. But the deeper he went, the more it fought back. Suddenly, all the studio equipment glitched. Monitors flashed. The lights flickered, and the whisper came again. This time, not from the tape, from behind him. Cameron turned sharply. No one there. He shut everything off, left the room, and laughed it off. Just exhaustion, he told himself. Audio hallucinations were common after long hours. But that night, in bed, the whisper returned. Not in his ears, but in his head. "Rewind me." The next morning, he found the tape playing by itself. It hadn't been powered. The machine wasn't even plugged in. He touched the reel, ice cold. He tried to throw it away, but every time he left the room and returned, it was back on the desk. Cameron checked the WAV file he had exported to his PC. It was gone. In its place was a file called listentome.wav. He pressed play. His own voice spoke back. "She's inside now." Cameron's studio had a soundproof booth called the Echo Room, named after the slight flutter echo caused by the wall curvature. He entered it that afternoon to test something. Suddenly, the door slammed shut. The lights inside flickered and went red. The air turned thin. On the monitor, a waveform appeared. No microphone was connected. Then, he heard it again. The woman's voice. "You're almost ready." Her voice started layering like a chorus of herself. "You're almost ready. You're almost ready." He banged on the door. It wouldn't open. Then, silence. The waveform flatlined. When the door finally opened, 2 hours had passed. But Cameron had only experienced 5 minutes. Desperate, Cameron contacted a friend, Riley, an archivist who specialized in vintage audio. Riley took one look at the reel and froze. "I've seen this before," he whispered. "Back in college during a university restoration project. A tape with the red X." Riley had listened to it, only once. The professor who brought it in went missing the next day. 2 students ended up in psych wards. No one ever found the original tape. "How did you get this?" Riley asked. "I was hired by a client." "What client?" Cameron opened his emails. There was no record, no invoice, no file transfer. It was as if the job had never existed. That night, Cameron tried to destroy the tape, burn it, crush it. Magnetize it. Nothing worked. Instead, the tape changed. When he played it again, he heard voices he knew. His mother, his childhood friends, even his own voice. Laughing, crying, pleading, then screaming. He pressed stop. The room didn't go silent. Instead, the screaming continued. Outside the headphones, he took them off. The sound was inside the walls. The house shook. Lights exploded. The tape machine melted into the table like wax. A voice boomed. "I am sound, and you gave me form." The next morning, the tape was gone. But the audio had infected everything. His phone played fragments of the voice when no app was open. His TV flickered static and words that scrolled across like subtitles. The voice needs ears. His neighbors heard it too, first through their walls, then in their dreams. They stopped speaking to him. One by one, they packed up and left the building. Cameron tried to flee, packed his gear, drove 2 towns over. The moment he checked into a motel, the room's radio crackled to life. You left the door open. Cameron returned to the studio. There was nowhere else to go. He set up the mics. This time he spoke. "Who are you?" Silence. Then, "I was a voice before I had a body, a scream before I had shape." She told him her name had been erased, that she once lived, long ago, before microphones, before radio, when people believed voices could carry spirits. She had been trapped in a recording, accidentally, violently, during a seance. Each time someone played the tape, she grew stronger. And now, she wanted out. Cameron had an idea, a way to end it. If the tape could spread through speakers, then perhaps broadcasting it wide, overloading the frequencies, could burn it out. Let it scatter into white noise. He uploaded the file to a dead frequency on a pirate AM station. Hit transmit. The speakers howled. The studio shook. Screams layered over screams. The voice tried to speak, but the signal fractured. Her words became nonsense, then feedback, then silence. Everything stopped. No power surge, no death, just silence. He breathed. For a few days, everything felt normal again. The air was clean. His ears stopped ringing. Then, while editing a podcast for a new client, he pressed play. Static, then breathing. Then, "Can you hear me?" Cameron froze. Same whisper, same voice. He checked the file name. Episode 1 intro.wave. He hadn't uploaded the tape. She had never left.